Okay, it's another Monday where we talk about how American cities reeling from another violent weekend. In Oregon, police searching for 3 suspects who threatened a Ralph Lauren outlet store worker with a gun after being confronted about shoplifting.
And in Philadelphia, reckless street racers damage roads right outside of City Hall doing those donuts.
Look at that.
Yep, former NYPD officer and unfiltered host Dan Bongino has been supplied that video prior to this segment and wants to react. Dan, crime's still a major issue almost on every candidate's punch list if they want to get into office. That, to me, is heartening, but this is out of control.
Yeah, I mean, think about how we got here. Isn't it disturbing we're even having this conversation? You know, I'm doing a segment on my podcast today called, things conservatives knew months ago, right? Common sense stuff. And one of the things we knew months, if not years, if not decades ago as conservatives was, when you enforce the law, Brian, shocker, you get less law breaking. Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact that there are liberals watching the show today who are stunned by this assertion says everything about the state of America you need to hear. I mean, we actually lived through the high crime and chaos eras, right? In LA, New York, we're still living through it now in Chicago, and we know what worked. I mean, many of you are New Yorkers. Brian, you've lived in New York a lot of your adult life. Remember what happened back then? We had the David Dinkins era, crime exploded. Rudy Giuliani comes in with Jack Maple and Bill Bratton, the police commissioner in the first step, and they say, hey, I got this crazy idea. Like, if someone jumps a turnstile, maybe we should arrest them for jumping the turnstile. And you know what happened, Brian? A lot of the guys they arrested and detained had warrants for other crimes, and they jumped the turnstile because they were going to commit another crime on the train, which then didn't happen.
Sure.
Now that we're not doing that and crime's exploding, you have to understand it's only liberals scratching their heads. Conservatives are like, okay, you defunded the police and crime exploded. Yeah, we get it.
Right, but you're also forgetting, Dan, here in New York State, they redid the criminal justice stuff, and now it's almost impossible to get arrested where they actually prosecute you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here's why this is such a big deal. I mean, it's outside the obvious, like if you keep criminals in jail, they won't commit crime. I get the obvious point. But again, liberals watch the show, so you have to talk really slow, right? When you look at criminology research, there's a very small, thank God, by the way, there's a very small percentage of the population that commits the overwhelming majority of the crimes. Yep. Forgive me, I don't have the exact number, but it's small. Less than 20% of the population commits roughly about 80% of the crime. So when you get even half of those people, a quarter, or even a tenth of those people, Steve, off the streets, it's not directly proportional. It's almost like geometric, the decrease in crime. Because if you have one guy committing 10 crimes over the course of the week, it's not a one-for-one deal. You get him off the street, that's 10 less crimes that happen next week. Right. Again, I mean, I know leftists are listening, so math and stuff are hard, but that's why broken windows policing worked. And that's why things like bail reform, where we let people out 10 seconds after they commit a violent crime, that's why you see this explosion that, again, is geometric, not just arithmetic.
Tell us about the Fox Nation Patriot Awards that are going to be hosted down there in Florida where you live, and I know you'll be on stage.
I know, I love it. I've been at, last year we had to go kind of digital with it, but I was there with you all. Remember the first year we were down, when we were in Tampa?
Tampa.
It was awesome. And and remember all the, we had the hockey coach who gave the great speech. I mean, finally, like an award show for people that matter, instead of like Hollywood elitists. So I'll be there. Like I said last week, I'll be there with bells on, maybe no bells, but I'll act like I'll have bells on. It's going to be awesome. Get your tickets and say hello to everybody. I'm happy to do it. I can't wait.
Much needed red, white, and blue event, Dan. So I look forward to seeing you down there.
Yeah, me too, guys. It was great. Thanks for having me in studio this week for the hospitality. I appreciate it. It was fun to be up there.
We don't regret it.
It was good to see you in person.
I know. Good.
All right, for tickets, go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
Thanks, Dan.
And Pete Hegseth's hosting. It'll be great.